I think electricity is fascinating because you could metaphorically describe Bitcoin as simply a monetary energy network, or in fact, it's the first closed energy system to transmit energy across time and space that doesn't suffer from loss, line loss, or from battery drainage. It's a battery plus a network.
Yeah.
So if you look at the most power systems, you lose 2 to 6% of the power from the station to your home, and you can't move electricity more than about 1,000 miles, and practically speaking, 500 miles. So taking electricity from the East Coast of the United States to Tokyo, the loss of energy would be obscene because you'd have to convert it into, like, you probably got to put it as crude oil in a tanker, float it around the world and then take it out and burn it.
Yeah.
So you're probably talking about 20, 30, 40% energy loss to do that. And on the other hand, energy eventually flows into a battery. And in the mobile wave, I write that, lithium ion batteries are critical to mobile devices. No batteries, no mobile devices, no mobile wave, right? It's a critical element. When you put electricity into a battery, you're generally losing 2% of the power per month. Kind of interesting, 24% a year brain drain or electric power drain. It sounds kind of like 24% a year negative real yield.
Yeah.
If you put your money into a currency that's being inflated, I could make an argument that long bond assets, had an inflation rate of 22% this year so far. They're up 22%. In other words, Fed is printing money, and those bonds spiked 22%. So if you were holding cash and wanted to convert, you lost 22% of your money, or 22% drain. So if you look at gold, if you compared a battery of Bitcoin and a battery of gold, and I put all of my money into Bitcoin, I put $100 million into Bitcoin, there's effectively no dilution if you calculate the fully diluted Bitcoin count from here to infinity, you're going to have 21 million Bitcoin. So I know that. The worst case is there's 15% dilution over 150 years, right? Worst case. But the logical case is there's no.
Not so bad.
It's a completely closed system. On the other hand, I put all my money into gold. The best case is 2% a year. They're going to print more. They're going to mine more gold 2% a year. That means over 100 years, you're going to lose 85% of your energy.